Good morning. We're here to talk about why this particular three bedroom original in DY, smashed every record over the weekend in what's supposed to be a cooling market, and how we also sold another property right off the back of it.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Whoa,
morning.
what a price. What a price.
What a price. For the people that haven't already seen, we're talking about quite a special property which pulled quite a special result on Saturday.
Man, that was, I was at a function at the Serbian Festival in Darling Harbour yesterday, and I reckon 30 people mentioned this sale. There was only 24 hours prior. Everyone was talking about it, all the locals that were certainly there. And people just can't believe, like, this is something that we were, with the comparables were at 1.35. All the comparisons were at that level. And everyone's thinking, yeah, look, it's a very, very good unit. Numbers were big, but this just blew everyone's expectations out of the water. Why?
It's tricky. First of all, I think let's not tease these guys. Let's show them what the property actually looks like. So we're going to do a bit of a share screen for you. But this is the property we're talking about. Top floor.
Wow.
It's got no common walls. Feels like a house. There's so much more to it.
Unbelievable. You're not going to believe what this sold for, guys. We were guiding 1.35, block of 4, original kitchen, original bathrooms. Oh, great. There's some photos there. North facing. Huge floor plan. Like, this floor plan was just unbelievable, but it still leaves me with the question, if you've just tuned in, it still leaves me with the question of how the hell does a property sell for this much more than everyone expected. It was a big unit though. How many meters squared was it?
Yeah, 178 squares on title. Had a double lock-up garage downstairs, which was probably 30, 40 odd squares. So upstairs there was still, 120 squares of, living up there. It was great. But by no means
So
was it
super huge
renovated.
living area.
Oh, everything was super, super massive. The best way to put it, guys, is really, for DY, this same block could be a block of 8, but what the developer did was supersize everything, double it up. So it was a double lock-up garage, it was double-sized the rooms, double-sized the living rooms. On square meterage, it's twice the size of your average apartment in DY in every regard, and I think maybe it got twice the sale price for, a normal 3-bedroom. It was ridiculous.
No views.
No views.
So now the auction, I've got to tell you about the people that turned up to the auction. The street was full. I think out of 30 years of being a real estate agent, this was the best auction that I've ever attended. The amount of people that were there, everyone was happy. Start of a long weekend for a lot of people. Great vibes out there, or sort of a long weekend. Great vibes out there, and the rain held off, which was lucky. Straight opposite that reserve. But again, guiding 1.35, how much did it sell for? Like, you're not going to believe the amount that it actually did sell for. Like, look at that position opposite the lagoon. Again, no views, but a good position. So the bidding started. There's the floor plan. Cracker of a floor plan. So the bidding started. There was 18 registrations, which is a big number for real estate, where in the last 12 months we've been getting 1 or 2 auction registrations. This had 18 people register, so we knew something magic was possibly going to happen when we saw those registrations. Lots of contract changes on that Friday prior. Then everyone turned up, and the first bid was.
It came in actually 50 grand above the guide. It didn't even go on 135. So I went straight to 14. I'm right back in at 145. And then right back in at one. I think it just jumped in 50 increments for the first couple of bids.
And it kept soldering through. It was a fast auction. It was only about a 8-minute auction, 7 to 8 minute auction, and then it just kept hopping in 50s, and there was 3 people active that then started pushing the bidding above the 1.45 region.
And that's where I was, I think, along with the crowd, really starting to get excited, because at 1.5 it started to go against what the other comparables in the area were saying. We were guiding around that 135, and don't get me wrong, there was sale results to justify why it was sitting in that price range. But at 1.5 you started to get into the region where you'd find a 3-bed, 2-bath, double lock-up, side-by-side secure parking with nothing to spend, slightly more renovated, but further back from the beach, and definitely not a block of 4. So that's where I think everyone started to get excited.
And Lisa actually had a client come up to her straight after the auction. We'll talk about the result in a second. But Lisa actually had a client come up to her straight after the auction and said, can you get the buyer through my place? And she did. And it exchanged as well straight away off the back of that sale. So it starts benchmarking a suburb when you see these sorts of prices that people get excited about. It starts benchmarking. So the reserve was sitting at 1.35, yeah. It then started going beyond the 1.5, beyond the 1.6, beyond the 1.7. And tell us about the rest. What happened, Billy?
Well, that's right. It all happened so quickly. That's the thing. It didn't slow down really until we got to 1.9, and then the last 20 grand that was squeezed out. It was the most amount of money for the vendors. Don't get me wrong, but it ended up selling at $1.92 million, 3 bedrooms in DY. Unbelievable.
And the great thing about this is I think a lot of agents sort of don't quite communicate this properly to their community. When a sales price like this happens, it's not about how good am I or how good are we as an agency are. It's about how good has DY done out of this. It's because what happens is it benchmarks the suburb. So valuers can use this when they're doing valuations. Buyers can use this when they're guesstimating a value of a property. Sellers can use this when they want to know what their property's worth. So it's bankable money. It's benchmarking and it's bankable money when you see an auction comp. And the great thing about auction is it's not, you can't say it was luck. So if one person decides to pay $3 million for a $2 million house, you can go, well, it wasn't even on the market. It was just a one-off buyer. They must have really needed it. Is it a development site? Whatever. But when it's an auction and you've got all these people competitively bidding, creating that market underneath, it's pretty undisputable, but that is the benchmark for the area now.
Well, it's true, isn't it? Because there's always obviously an underbidder as well to the story. So I think, towards the end, it was 2 people that really wanted the same property. From my understanding, it was someone that walked into the auction with the mindset of, I'm buying this today, no matter what. And it was another person that was, well over the open house, well over the search. I think he actually flew up, just for the auction, for the day. And I think had to rein it back in, a little bit on common sense and what else he could do. his other options towards the end of it. But an incredible result, really.
Congratulations to DY. Congratulations to Lisa Novak, to Michael Silic. They were the agents that listed the property and sold the property. Managing that campaign was massive. There was over, in terms of attendees through the Opens, there would have been almost close to 200 groups through. When you talk about groups considering they're couples or families, that's about 400 odd people through the place, maybe even more. And what was interesting was it was a 2-week auction. So we've started doing this year. Instead of doing a 4-week auction, we've started doing a 2-week auction because buyers are so educated. Our database is so good that we don't need, before they were relying on newspapers when it was 4-week auctions. Now we've gone digital. Now we've got social. Now we've got email database, everyone registered, locked in on our books that we can easily communicate with. Now we've got realestate.com on domain. So we've started compressing as our agency a 4-week campaign into a 2-week campaign. It's been ultra successful because people don't have to wait. We capture them in the moment when they're excited, and we don't stretch them out for that whole 4-week period if they saw it in week 1.
I think the other thing as well is that you can just compress 4 weeks worth of work down to 2 if you do it properly. Like, you can double up on your open homes. You can double up on your private appointments. If you've got easy access into the property, there is really no need to stretch it out, because if you can solve the exposure, which was the original reason, the banks and the agents loved 4 weeks, 28-day auction campaign, and you can reduce it down, then it makes sense. Well,
a lot of agencies just want the 4-week exposure. They want more exposure out of the campaign, so they push it out. But I think in terms of who's having the best interest at heart for everyone, the sellers, and then the buyers, that I reckon these 2-week campaigns are pretty cool. 4 or 5 weeks, too long.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I think the other quick note there is, we said we don't run these auction campaigns on every property. It is definitely strategic. It's a good topic for an agent to cover.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
We'll
see every property.
The address of the property we're speaking about today is, Billy?
3/29 Hawkesbury Avenue, DY.
Give it a Google. Have a look what sold for $1.92 million. Pretty incredible. Over almost 600,000 over the reserve. And I've got to tell you, all of the comparisons were at the reserve. Everything had been selling around that region. This went out of the ballpark for good reasons. It's a good property. It was a great campaign, and congratulations to the purchasers on that property. Check out that link that Billy's put in there as well. I don't know if that's clickable, but we'll also put the address in here. Can you throw that address in, Billy? 3 at 29 Hawkesbury. And DY, suss it out, guys. Have a great week. I hope everyone's having I think a lot of people out there are having a relaxing Monday today, Billy.
I heard our builders are, Mark. They're not coming in.
We had builders coming into our office at 7 o'clock, and the supervisor turned up, and none of the staff turned up. They were sick.
I said to one of the ladies in the office, they've either enjoyed their Serbian festival too much, or they've definitely taken the long weekend.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't. I was surprised they were actually turning up. So when I found out that they were turning up, and then they weren't turning up, I was like, yeah, okay, that sort of makes sense. I think a lot of people are cheated on the Monday. There's been a lot of. This is the highest record number of sick days ringing in the year. If I'm having a bet, I reckon it's this day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a funny one to watch on. It's a good idea for it though. It's obviously having obviously just having the public holiday on a Tuesday it's meant to be for some people.
Yeah, a lot of people have joined it together. That's for sure. So, everyone, I hope you're having. If you have done that, relax, enjoy. Congratulations. If you haven't done that, then have a great day at work and enjoy tomorrow, your day off tomorrow. So it threw me out today because I felt like it was like having Tuesday off is throwing me out.
Yeah.
Take care, Billy Boy. Thank you very much.
See you guys. Have a good day.
See ya. Bye.